In our last video, we discussed about the human resource development, its indicators and role of vocational education. And from that discussion, we came to know about what does human resource mean, what we need to do to transform an individual into a human resource, what are the indicators of human resource, all these things we came to know from that discussion. Now, in this video, we will discuss about the problems of human resource. And the chapter which we are discussing today is problems of human resource development and role of government, which is written on the board itself. So if you have not watched the last video, the link of that video I will provide in the description box of this video. Please do watch that video because both these are related with each other. So from the last discussion, we now know that what does human resource mean, its importance, how human resource is important, how the a country's development is dependent on its human resource. All these we discussed in previous video. Now the question arises, though we know that human resource, how it is important, what we need to do to transform an individual into a human resource, etc. But still, in our country, like India, which is a developing country, we have not able to transform our population into human resource properly. Though we have a huge population, but we have a shortage of human resource, and that is the reason why we are still developing country. We could not have achieved the status of developed nation yet. The reason is shortage of human resource. Now, though we know what steps we need to take to improve our human resource or to develop our human resource, but still we are unable to achieve that goal. We are still unable to solve this crisis of human resource in our country. So what are the problems we are facing which are responsible in the which are responsible in the development of human resource, or which are creating problems in the path of human resource development? About those problems or obstacles we will discuss in this video. So we know that a country's development is dependent on the human resource, and we also know that what facilities we need to provide to the population so that the population can transform into a human resource. But to provide that facilities, some hurdles or obstacles our country India is facing, or the government is facing, to provide those facilities to the population. So what are those obstacles? The obstacles are like, first of all, we are having the high population growth. It is considered as the most important or the first obstacle or problem in the path of human resource development. And all other obstacles are related with this one only, with the high population growth. This obstacle is related, or it is the reason which is creating more other problems in the field. So the first problem we are having, that is high population growth. Next, we are having shortage of capital, then illiteracy, then we can see that poverty, superstitions, social evils, all these are the obstacles of human resource development. And as we have these problems, all of these problems, we have illiteracy, we have the problem of high population growth, we have the problem of shortage of capital, we have the problem of superstitious beliefs, social evils, etc. All these, as we have all these problems, that is why it has become very difficult for the government to provide the needs or those facilities which the government need to provide to the population to transform this into a human resource. Now, in the next few minutes, we will discuss about each of these obstacles in detail. The first obstacle or problem that we have in the path of human resource development is high population growth. It is the biggest problem, or is the most important problem in the path of human resource development. Why? Because with limited income or limited resources, it is not possible for any government to provide all the facilities like education, the facilities of better health services, or sufficient food or employment opportunities. These facilities is not possible for any government to provide to the entire population, which is constantly increasing, the size which is constantly enlarging. That is why it is considered, high population growth is considered as the biggest obstacle in the path of human resource development. Let's now try to understand this with an example. Suppose a government have set a goal to build 1,000 new hospitals throughout the country in order to fulfill the demand of the health facilities of the existing population. And the time span which government kept as to achieve this goal is 2 years. The government had set the goal that within 2 years, next 2 years, the government will build 1,000 new hospitals. And somehow government have achieved the goal. But after these 2 years of time, the government found that the population within these 2 years of time, the population of the country has increased by 30 lakhs. And we know that health facilities are needed by everyone, starting from a newborn baby to a senior citizen. So though the government have built 1,000 new hospitals throughout the country to fulfill the demand of the population of the country, but now after 2 years the size of the population has changed. It has increased by 30 lakhs. So still the government starts the journey to fulfill the demand of the health facilities. The government reached again at the same point that it is still found insufficient. Though new hospitals are built, but those are again found as insufficient. Why? Because the size of the population have changed to at a high rate, at a high scale. And this is what happening in all the other sectors. In the sector of the sector of food, in the sector of employment, in the sector of education, everywhere the scenario is same. Though the government is taking initiative to increase the food production, to improve the education facilities, new schools, colleges, universities are built by the government, new hospitals are built, new job opportunities are generated, but those are always found insufficient. Why? Because the population is constantly increasing, and that is the reason why high population growth is considered as the biggest obstacle in the path of human resource development. The next obstacle that we have in the path of human resource development is shortage of capital. Now, what does capital means? Generally, capital means the cash or the liquid asset which is used for expenditure. But yes, in economics, capital means all those assets which have market value and which help someone to earn his livelihood or increase his or her earnings. Suppose for an industrialist, his capital will be the cash which he has in his hand for investment, as well as the industry which he has set up, that building or that industry, the land on which he has set up the industry, that land, the machineries which he has installed in his industry for production, those machineries, all these will be considered as his capital, because all these have money value and all these together helping him to increase his income or earnings or earn his livelihood. But yes, in case of when it comes to budget, prepare the budget, then the cash is considered as the capital. And in case of government, the capital is considered, for the government, the capital is considered the cash. And in India, our government is suffering from the shortage of this capital. That means the shortage of cash flow. And due to the shortage of this capital, our government is unable to provide those facilities which are very essential for the human resource development. What are those facilities? The facilities like facilities of education, facilities of health services, as well as some civic amenities. Civic amenities such as from primary school to the university, from technical institutes to the vocational institutes, developed roads, bridges, hospitals, safe drinking water, drainage system, all these are some essential civic amenities which the population of our country need to be provided with, so that they can transform themselves into human resource. But due to the shortage of capital, the government is unable to these amenities to the population. And here the section of population in our country who are mostly suffering from the unavailability of these amenities are the rural people. The people who are living in the rural areas of our country, they are mostly suffering due to the unavailability of these amenities. And we know that majority of our population, that means almost 60% of India's population still today lives in the rural areas, and that is why the majority of our population of our country is not provided with the essential amenities which are very important for them to transform themselves into human resource development. And in this regard, the shortage of capital is playing the most important role. And that is the reason why our human resource development of our country is not human resource of our country is not developed up to the satisfactory rate. Our next obstacle is poverty, which is another big challenge in the path of human resource development. Due to this poverty, a large section of our population are unable to develop physically and mentally. For physical growth and mental growth, nutritious food and education is needed. But due to poverty, a large section of our population, they are unable to fulfill these needs, of their life, and thus they are found physically and mentally very weak due to the lack of education, proper education, and due to the lack of nutritious food. They becomes weak both physically and mentally, and thus they could not transform themselves into a human resource. And that is the reason why a large section of, due to poverty, a large section of our population, they are unable to transform themselves into human resource. And in due course of time, these people who are suffering from poverty, they lose their self-respect as they found themselves in the same condition or in the same they found their condition not to be improved due to the physical and mental weakness. They lose consequently they lose their respect, self-respect, and thus they becomes very much hopeless and started to depend on the luck to improve their condition. They start thinking that now their fortune or their luck can only change their situation. So that is the reason poverty is considered as the big obstacle in the path of human resource development. And due to this poverty, a large section of our population is still unable to transform into a human resource. The next obstacle in our list is illiteracy. Illiteracy is a curse to the society. It is really unfortunate that though we are living in the 21st century, but still 26% of our population is illiterate. We know that quality education is considered as a ladder to the human resource development. On the other hand, illiteracy is one such curse which prevents the development of knowledge, technical skills among the people. Not only that, it also stands as a barrier in the path of progress. It makes a person unable to improve or develop his or her condition. This illiteracy is also responsible for the growing socio-economic inequality in our country, because these illiterate people can be easily exploited and deprived of their various rights. They are treated unequally in the society. They do not get proper opportunities. They do not get respect, and they can be easily exploited of their or deprived from their basic rights, which is one reason behind the continuous progress of socio-economic inequality in our country. That is the reason why illiteracy is considered as a big hurdle or roadblock in the path of human resource development. Superstition or superstitious belief still prevails among a large section of both educated and uneducated masses of our country. And these are the people who do not accept the scientific changes. Though science and technology has changed the picture of the world to a large extent, but these people are the one who do not accept those changes. Today we have scientific answers to almost all the questions, but the people who have superstitious belief, they do not support these answers, or they do not support the changes or the developments which science and technology have brought in this world. Thus, these are the people who cannot be transformed into a human resource. That is the reason why superstition is considered as an important or big challenge for the human resource development. Here we can see around us, in fact, even around us, we see many people who have a number of superstitious beliefs. No matter they might be highly educated, but many of them we see that they have a number of superstitious belief. Let me give you some example. Like some of the people, they believe that if you see your face on a broken mirror, then it will bring bad luck to you. Some believes that if you feel itchiness on your palm, then it indicates that money is coming to your way. Some people, the most common one is this, that some people believe that if a cat cross their path, and most importantly if a black cat cross their path, then it indicates that something really dangerous is coming to their way. So these are some various superstitious belief we see, which are very common, and we see a number of people to have this. But here the list is not end. The list doesn't end here. The list is too long. And not only that, some very dangerous superstitious practices prevail in our country. One among them is witch killing, which is a very frequent incident that takes place throughout our country. We can hear about these incidents from the news channels very often. So these types of practices or these types of beliefs stands as a barrier in the path of human resource development, because these people are the one who do not want to accept the scientific changes, though they will not be able to provide you any scientific answer to their beliefs, behind their beliefs, or they will not be able to back their beliefs by reasoning or by logic, but still they have them, and they used to continue to believe or continue to have this belief and throughout their life, throughout their entire life. They do not want to change their mindset, or they do not want to question themselves about on these beliefs. And that is the reason why superstition is considered as an obstacle to the human resource development. India is known to be the largest democracy in the world, but it is very unfortunate that this democratic system, or our democratic system and its principles, have failed to remove certain inequalities from the Indian society. What are those inequalities? The inequalities like religious, linguistic, ethnic, gender, regional, etc. And these inequalities have become a big obstacle for the human resource development. In our last video, that is where we discussed about the indicators of human resource development. In that video, we discussed one table where the comparison between the literacy rate of India and Japan is made, where we found that in 2011 the literacy rate of India was only 74.4%, whereas the literacy rate of Japan was 99.9%. But at the same time, the male literacy rate of India has been found 82%, whereas the female literacy have been found only 65.46%. But on the other hand, Japan's male literacy rate has been found 99.9% and female literacy rate has been found 99.7%. So that means same. In Japan is a developed nation today, we know, and the literacy rate in Japan is very high. Almost 100% of their population is literate. But at the same time, the male literacy and female literacy is also same. There is no difference. But in case of India, we see a huge gap between the literacy rate of male and female. So these types of inequalities have been found in different groups of people. some groups of people belongs to particular language or particular ethnic group or particular region have been found to be developed. They have developed economically, politically, socially, they have developed, but some other groups have been are still there in our country, who have not been able to develop themselves, or who have not been able to progress so much in comparison with the other groups. And thus such inequalities or differences in the rate of development has been found between different groups of people. But and here we need to understand that when we are concerned about the development of our nation, then we have to understand that the development of a nation depends on the development of its entire population. If only few groups of people, or only the male of the society will develop, male of the nation will be developed, or only few groups belongs to some particular language or particular religion or particular region will develop, then the country's development, overall development, will not be possible. When we talk about the development of a nation, then every citizen, each and every single citizen of the country need to bring under the process of that development and need to participate in the progress. So here we are lagging behind. In our country, we see different groups have developed or progressed in different way. Now these inequalities have not only created, or have not only became an obstacle for the human resource development, but these inequalities have also created a chaos like situation in the country. We see that many political parties in our country have grown targeting a particular group of people, like particular religious group or particular ethnic group, linguistic group, etc. And in different types, in the post independence period, we have seen in different times these different groups of people, they have demanded for separate statehood, because they felt that they are being ignored by the government, and that is the reason why, as a group of people, or as a particular as they belongs to a particular linguistic group or particular religious group, they are being ignored by the government, and that is why they could not develop properly in comparison with the other groups. So thus in different times they demanded for separate statehood, as well as different political parties have grown targeting those particular groups of people, and at least they claimed, those political parties claimed that they have created the political party in order to raise the voice of these ignorant people. So, and these types of issues, or these types of demands which have been raised in different times in the post independence period, sometimes these demands have turned into a violent movement. Many times such kind of violent movements have been recorded between different groups of people, and at the same time many times the central government have also become bound to fulfill their demands by providing them a separate state, by demarcating the existing states, and have formed new states in our country. So these types of chaos, or these types of problems which are being created by such which are the results of such inequalities, they are again and again are creating a problem or big challenge in the path of development of our nation. The overall development of the nation are always being threatened or always being challenged by these issues or these problems, and these can be removed, these problems can be solved only when these inequalities will be removed. Inequalities like these religious or ethnic or linguistic or gender inequalities, where one group is developing fast and the other one is lagging behind, such inequalities need to improve, because a country's development is dependent on the entire population, and each and every single citizen of the nation need to bring under the process of development. Then only we will be able to achieve the status of a developed nation. So till now we discussed about the various problems or obstacles that we are facing in the field of human resource development. Now we will discuss about the role of government for the human resource development, that what role or initiative our government have taken so far for the human resource development. Here we need to know that our government since independence have adopted a number of projects or schemes in different sectors, so that those, with the help of those schemes and projects, the rate of human resource development can be improved, or it can boost the speed of the human resource development. The human resource of our human resource of our country can be developed at a faster rate. And those schemes and projects till today have provided some positive results. We could see, and the different sectors where the government have adopted various schemes and projects to improve the human resource of our country, those are like education sector, health and food sector, employment sector, etc. All these sectors play a very important role in the field of human resource development. So that is why different projects and schemes have been undertaken and implemented by the government in all these sectors, so that it can boost the rate of human resource development of our country. Now let's discuss about each of these sectors in detail. When it comes to human resource development, we know that education play a very important role, and thus our government have taken a number of initiatives in order to establish a proper educational infrastructure in the country. A number of schemes and projects the government have adopted so far, under which a number of schools, colleges, universities, technical and research institutes, vocational institutes have been established, so that proper and quality education can be provided to the people of the country. In this regard, one remarkable step have been adopted by the government in 2009, when the right to education was introduced. And for the successful implementation of this right, two schemes, one is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and another one is Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, has been adopted by the government, so that primary to high school level education can be provided to the children of the nation or students of the nation at a free of cost. By making education under the right to education, the primary to high school level education has been made free and compulsory by the government, and this free and compulsory education is imparted under these two schemes. Similarly, a number of universities, colleges, technical institutes have been established so far in order to provide higher education to the students or to the children of our country, so that a better human resource can be developed in our nation. In this regard, till now, 54 central universities, 31 national institutes of technology, 542 medical colleges, 64 PG institutes have been established so far by the central government. Similar steps have been also adopted in our state as well, that is in Assam as well, where one Indian Institutes of Technology, which is located in Guwahati, one National Institutes of Technology, that is NIT, located in Silchar, 5 medical colleges, 2 central universities, 3 state universities, 1 state open university, 2 engineering colleges, one agricultural university, fishery colleges, teachers training colleges, etc. All these have been established till today. But yes, all these numbers which I mentioned just now, these are not enough, both in case of the entire nation and as well as in case of our state, because the population of our country and of our state is constantly growing, constantly increasing, and thus these numbers are not enough. And the government in this regard is planning to establish such institutes in future as well, so that the increasing demand can be fulfilled. And all these initiatives have been undertaken by the government in order to fulfill the demand of education, quality education, in order to provide quality education to the population of our country, because as I have already said that education is very important, or it creates the base for the human resource development. And thus the government in our country have adopted a number of schemes and projects so far for the development of the education sector. Food and health sector plays the most important role in the field of human resource development. an individual can be transformed into a human resource only when he or she will have a sound health and sound mind, and this can be achieved only through nutritious food and improved health services. Thus, keeping this into consideration, our government has provided primary health centers, district sub health centers, divisional health centers covering the rural and urban areas of our country. Moreover, the Rashtriya Rural Health Mission is one such program which is under which free health facilities or services are provided to the people of the rural areas of our entire nation. But yes, along with the primary health centers, improved and advanced hospitals are also needed for the people who are suffering from critical health issues. Thus, a number of modern and advanced hospitals has been established by the government so far. The facilities of mobile hospitals are also provided to the people, so that at the time of emergency, treatment or health facility can be provided to the people as fast as possible. Just like the health sector, the government have taken up a number of measures to fulfill the need of food of our population. We know that food is a fundamental need of a man, and for a healthy physical growth, nutritious food is very important. Moreover, it is the duty of the government to provide nutritious food in required amount to the hungry and poverty stricken people. Thus, a number of schemes and projects the government have introduced so far, so that the demand of these sections of people can be fulfilled successfully. In this regard, minimum basic need program has been introduced by the government, under which the government have introduced a number of schemes, a number of projects, so that the basic needs of our population can be fulfilled. Moreover, the public distribution, through the public distribution system, the government has ensured that the distribution of food items can be done at the required amount to the entire population of our country at a fair price or at a minimum price. Similarly, the district administration is also taking up various necessary steps, so that the people of each and every single district, the need of the people of every single district can be fulfilled. In this regard, the Food Corporation of India, with the help of Food Corporation of India, cooperative societies, fair priced shops, the district administration is entitled or is responsible to distribute the food, nutritious food items to the entire people of the each and every single district. Moreover, it is also the responsibility of the government to keep a good amount of food in stock, so that at the time of crisis or at critical situation, like in war-like situation, or at the time of natural disaster, or in the situations like epidemic or pandemic situation, that food can be provided, which is kept in stock, can be used to fulfill the demand of the entire population. It is the responsibility of the government to produce and store a good amount of quality food, keeping the size of the population in mind, so that at the time of need, that food can be distributed among the people of the country. And this is called food safety. And our government is have taken up a number of schemes and projects, and have taken a number of initiatives, so that the demand of the food of our population can be fulfilled at any time, at the time of normal situation, as well as at the time of any critical or at the time of crisis. Let's now discuss about another important sector that plays a very important role in the field of human resource development, and this sector is employment sector. We know that the overall development of any society is not possible without its economic growth, and For economic growth, it is very essential to provide proper job opportunities to the population. Thus, our government have undertaken a number of programs with the help of which the government is trying to provide employment opportunities to the people. In this regard, Manrega, which is that is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Generation Agency for rural areas, and PMEGP, that is Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program for urban areas, are important. Under these two programs, the government have taken the initiative to provide a fixed numbers of days of employment to the unemployed people in both rural and urban areas. But yes, here we need to understand that it is not possible for any government to provide jobs to the entire population of our country. Thus, our government have also undertaken some, or have also introduced various other programs with the help of which the government is trying to make the people self-employed. In this regard, various training programs are conducted by the government, so that with the help of those training programs, the unemployed people can develop a particular skill in a particular field, and with the help of that skill they can earn their livelihood and can become self-dependent. Similar steps have been also taken up in our state by the state government, that is under which program that step has been taken is the Chief Minister's Assam Vikas Yojana program. Under this program, the government has taken the initiative to provide loan with subsidy to the unemployed educated youths to promote tourism, so that with the help of that loan they can purchase vehicles or can open hotels or restaurants and promote and can improve the tourism industry, or can boost the tourism industry in our state. But yes, these steps are not enough, not in case of the nation and as well as in our state, because the size of the population is very high. We know that our state is rich in natural resources, and thus the government, our state government, need to take measures so that industries can be set up in those areas where the natural resources are found in abundance. Our state is still lagging behind in the industrial sector, or our industrial sector is not developed so much yet. So here the government need to take initiative to develop the industrial sector, so that this sector can also generate a huge amount of employment opportunities for the people of our state. Apart from this, our government has also taken initiative to provide or to distribute some essential items like rickshaw, power tiller, tractor, swing machine, auto rickshaw, etc. to the people who are in need of these essential items, so that with the help of these items they can earn their livelihood and can become self-dependent. However, these schemes and projects about which we have discussed till now, these are not sufficient enough. As the size of our population is very big, thus these projects are not sufficient for our huge size of population. That is why the government need to adopt more such programs and need to implement them very strictly, because till today a huge section of our population are away from these facilities. But yes, with the help of these projects and with the help of these programs, a number of people have been benefited so far. Thus, our country has become able to compete with some developed nation in different areas. But yes, we still need to go a long path, and thus the people of our country, we the people of our country, need to cooperate with our government so that the such developmental programs and schemes can be implemented successfully. The government can implement them successfully. then only we will be able to improve our condition, we will be able to develop, our country will be able to develop, and we will be able to proud of ourselves and our country in future. So this is all about the chapter problem of human resource development and role of government, where we discussed about the different problems or obstacles that we are facing in the field of human resource development, and as well as we also discussed the important role played by our government for the human resource development. Thank you for watching the video.